Divine afternoon, everybody. I guess for whatever reason, I got an error saying that my browser failed to play the video. But anyway, it was just the intro video. It's okay. Anyway, um, let's go ahead and we're gonna dive right on in. I'm gonna dive right on in. And if you are tuning in with me right now, let me know where you're tuning in from. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Let me know that you're tuning in live. But we're gonna talk about holiday travel and the breakdown, what protection really covers. And we're not going to surface talk about it. We're just going to talk about it, right? And so before I get into that, make sure I can be heard because I'm having some technical difficulties already. Um, so let me go check. But if you are watching and if you can hear me, let me know in the comments that you can hear me. Put a one. You don't have to type a whole sentence, just put a one. Let me know that you can hear me. And I'm going to go to over here. Put a one. Okay, I can hear me. All right. So I don't need nobody to put a one in there for my spectators. Just coming by spectating. But anyway, so like I said, divine afternoon to my quiet leaders. That's who I'm talking to. We're deep in the holiday travel season, and I want to talk about something I never travel without, and that is real protection. Now, here's the deal. I haven't booked anybody else's travel yet, but I've booked my own. And I always add the travel protection. And it's not about it's not because I'm fearing anything like that. It's about having a peace of mind and keeping my money secure. Because the thing is, if something happens, guess what? I'm gonna lose money. And that's something that we don't want to do. We don't want to lose money, no money, right? So um look, I'm gonna give a little bit more time before I actually get more into it and see. Like I said, I normally don't. I normally, share to a couple of my pages. So I'm actually going to share on my travel page because I do have a travel page. It is Divine Legacy Travel. So if you have not seen it, you can search it in Facebook, Divine Legacy Travel. And on that page, you will see all types of trips that are available to you. If any of those interest you, all you got to do is just click on it and it'll take you to a page. And if you want to connect with me that way, you can. Or if you want to connect with me on any of your travel, just DM me and just let me know, right? Um, so, but let me go ahead and get this share out real quick. I said I'm only gonna just share it on my pages here. I'm gonna share there. I'm gonna share in the stories. I'm gonna add it to my stories. And if you know anyone that's out there that will be traveling during this holiday season, during this holiday seasons, let them know. Tag them in this video, tag them in this live, because it's only going to be up 30 days, even though I will have it recorded. So, meaning that I can always reshare this information. But like I said, look, we're getting heavy into it. And like I said, I have not yet booked any clients yet. But like I said, I booked my own travel because want to um, um, I want to remain protected when I do book my travel. So I do add the travel protection on there. So why does this matter? Why does this matter? These are the months when flights get delayed, weather shifts, people get sick, and companies cancel, right? And protection is what keeps your adventure from being a setback, right? Because we don't want any setbacks, especially if it's going to cost us anything. I know I don't. And I know that people have experienced loss of money in having to, re spend money to book flights, purchase luggage, things like that, because they got lost for whatever reason. And like I said, I'm gonna dive into um, what the coverage is and the breakdown of what's covered, right? So let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about trip cancellations, right? So the covered reasons equals cash back for the trip you can't take, right? Not a future credit, but money. But money. Make sure I got my right, because I want to make sure I get into what we're going to talk about. Let me, matter of fact, there is a, let me see, where is, I've been moving stuff around. I got like 3 screens going on, y'all. And it becomes a pain in the backside. Oh, here we go. This is what I'm looking for right here. So let's talk about, like I said, the cancellation, trip cancellations. And if your trip is canceled, and what is covered. Okay, so like when your trip is interrupted. So if your trip gets cut short, okay, they cover new flights, and this is what the insurance cover. Okay, the protection cover. It covers new flights, unused days, and emergency travel. And let's not talk about a medical emergency. Okay, so this happens typically on trips. If you have a medical emergency, your USA insurance usually doesn't work overseas. It typically don't work overseas. Now there are some insurance coverages that I'm aware of. When it comes to when you get into the Medicare aspect of it, there is some insurance that does cover, but that's not what this topic is about. But also, hospital bills can hit thousands. Evacuations can reach 250K. Protection handles that if you have it. So if you're like I said, if you're planning to take a trip, excuse me, overseas or for that matter anywhere, just make sure you have the travel protection. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend travel protection because, like I said, it's going to save you a lot of money. It's going to save you a lot of money. Let's talk about emergency medical transportation. Okay, this includes ambulance, medical flights, transfers to better hospitals, and getting you back home safely. So just think about it. You don't want to be stuck in a state or overseas, you know, where you're not really familiar. So you want to be able to get back home. So you want to make sure that you have this travel protection because it's going to cover your emergency medical transportation, right? So let's talk about the bag loss or damage. Reimbursements for items that are stolen, destroyed, or never returned. How many people have had their luggage stolen? I heard I think it was a video or something. Somebody got their no, somebody was talking about that actually works at the airport said um that someone actually their they caught the guy who was stealing people's luggage. Now, for what reason he was stealing people's luggage, I have no idea, but just think about it. If your luggage happens to get stolen, travel protection covers it, right? You get a reimbursement based on value. Let me stress that you get reimbursement based on value. So if it's not valuable, you won't get reimbursement on it. So let's say that. Now I know some of y'all be having these expensive luggage, Louis Vuitton, Versace, what else out there? Coco, Chanel, those expensive luggages. Yeah, you might want to go ahead and get you some travel protection for that. Okay, well, let's talk about baggage delay. So if your bags show up late, you get money for essentials like clothes, toiletries, replacement. Didn't know that. Bet you didn't know that, did you? So then we have travel delays. This is the holiday headache, right? If you're stuck for hours, Insurance covers meals, hotels, transportation, and new connections. Now, I've experienced a long delay, and crazily, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about, even using my travel protection to even cover, that delay. Because I basically could have just, when you got a hotel or, did something different, instead of sitting around the airport, which that's exactly what I did. I sat around the airport, and I didn't really worry about the meals because typically, um, there's really no vegan restaurants in the airport. So I mean, so I just kind of like really just kind of toughed it out. But just think about it. If you're stuck for hours, your insurance covers your meals, hotels, transportation, and new connections. So just think about it. Get that travel protection. Hey, if you're tuning in, let's talk about those holiday breakdown. What protection really covers. All right. So if you're traveling, you definitely want to make sure that you have travel protection. And I have just went over a couple of things that the protection covers when you are traveling. So I'll run through those just because you just tuned in. It covers trips cancellations. So if you cancel for a covered reason, like for instance, if you're sick, injured, emergencies, you get reimbursement for your trip that you can't take. It's not a credit. It's the actual money, because the airline, say for instance, you cancel for whatever reason, they want to give you a credit. And I've had that experience where I couldn't take a trip and they gave me a credit. And I didn't use that credit for a good long while. But just imagine if I would have had during that time travel protection, and I could have got my money back. But I got the credit. I used it. Actually, I used it last year. So, I mean, it wasn't all a loss. But if I had the insurance, the travel, not insurance, but the travel protection, I would have got my money back. And also, we covered trip interruptions. So, if something happens like mid trip and you have to come home early, they cover rebookings, unused days, and emergency travel. So, and this is what travel protection covers. Also, if we talk about excuse me, I can't think of my words. Medical emergencies. So, when you're outside the U.S., your health insurance usually stop working. A hospital visit is thousands. A medical evacuation can be what 50K to 250K. Travel insurance steps in so you don't carry that burden. So you definitely left me out. Look, like I said, I encourage I encourage you having travel protection, right? So if you're tuning in with me, let me know that you're tuning in live. That'd be great. But if you don't want to, that's fine too. But anyway, also another thing that travel protection covers is emergency medical transportation. So this includes ambulance, medical flights, transferring to a better hospital, and getting home safely. Getting home safely. So if you, like I said, don't don't travel without the protection. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't do it. Um, like I said, I haven't had the experience of having to use it yet, but I can assure you, the next trip I take, I would definitely have the child protection. So also, what it covers is lost or damaged baggage. So if your bags get stolen or destroyed, you get reimbursed based on value, right? So how about baggage delay? If your bags show up late, you get money for essentials such as your clothes, toiletries, replacement, right? Then we talk about, and if you tuned in, I was talking about travel delay. So this is the holiday headache. If you're stuck for hours, insurance covers your meals, transportation, and a new connections. So again, don't travel without travel protection. All right. All right. So let's talk about missed connections. So what if you miss your connection due to what? Weather, mechanical issue delays. Um, if it makes you miss a connection, you're covered. And I had that experience. We were going to Oklahoma. I remember it was years ago, going to Oklahoma, and we had mechanical delays on the plane, and they flew us all the way back midair and went back to Dallas. And so we ran through the airport. We ran through the airport. Good thing it wasn't on my dime, but anyway, we was able to um catch the flight. But just imagine you miss your flight or you miss your connection because something happened. It was a mechanical issue. And not here too long ago, when I was coming back from, was it? I believe I was coming back from California, and we were in the air. I don't know for how long because of the weather, and we was just flying around in the air. And so for those who had connections, I'm almost sure 100% they missed them. Um, maybe. But anyway, if they had the travel protection, guess what? They were covered. So it was okay. So what about supplier default? So say for instance, if a cruise line, airline, or tour company shuts down, you don't lose your money because you have the protection. Think about it. You don't lose your money. Um, uh-oh. But anyway, so what about 24/7 travel assistance? Passport loss, medication needed, emergency in a foreign country. You have a team that steps in instantly. So when you have travel protection, like saying, if y'all traveling, y'all definitely look, y'all definitely do not hear me, do not want to be out of town without it. Definitely don't want to be out of town without or traveling without travel protection. Like I said, I make sure I have it on every booking that I make, that I book for myself. Um, so so let's talk about this one company. It's called Allen. I can't never say it right. Allianz, Allianz. Allianz is strong because they handle real situations fast, and their Travel Smart app keeps everything simple: policies, claims, emergency help, flight tracking. That's what I'm saying. When you're looking at travel protection, you want to make sure that it covers those things, right? So definitely make sure you know what you're getting when you're getting the travel protection. Um, and so let's talk about. So let me tell you, um, I protect my own travel because I value my peace and my money. Okay, and if you're connected with me, I want you to know traveling smarter, safer, and protected. Okay, so I'm telling you, if I hadn't told you before, I'm telling you right now. Telling you right now, make sure when you're doing those bookings, make sure that you have your travel protection. Make sure you have travel protection. Don't leave home without it. It's just like insurance. I think, really, I think it should be something that should be required to get travel protection, especially if you're traveling overseas. You're traveling international, because you're traveling international. That's a long way from home, very long way from home. So if you're booking any, cruises or you're going to be traveling across the country, definitely get that travel protection. So, but like I said, if y'all have any questions about, travel protection, if you have any questions about, bookings or anything like that, I am your girl, Shakita. You, like I said, you can go to my page, Divine Legacy Travel. I will put it on the screen here. Let me see. Let me see. I'm like not good at this, so but I'm good at it, but I'm not good at it. Anyway, Divine. This is my page. Oops, hold on. Yep. Yeah. I should do this stuff before I get started. But anyway, this is like live and it's happening like right now. She's typing in Divine Legacy Travel. That is my Facebook page. And also on my Facebook page, it has I have all different types of, vacations that are actually okay. Um, all kind of vacations that, trips that you can take that you may be interested in. So go to Divine Legacy Travel. That is my Facebook page. Or if you want to go to my website, just go to divinelegacytravel.com. So look, telling y'all, do not take another trip without having travel protection. And the thing is, and I know some of us, we want to save money, and I get that, but you're gonna save a heck of a lot more money if you actually get the travel if you get the travel protection. 'Cause like I said, it is definitely worth it if any of these things that I've went over happen. So and you won't be trying to get credits or you won't lose your money. You'll actually get your money back. So like I'm saying, we are thick in the holiday season, and you um, don't want to be traveling without no protection. It's just like your car. You have to have insurance on it, and you definitely don't want to be driving without no insurance on your car because, like I said, things happen, and it's not intentional, but things do happen. And at least if you have it, you cover. You know, though with car insurance, you may have a deductible, but with this travel protection, it's going to cover all those things that I've just went over. Matter of fact, like, you know, like I said, just I'm looking at some information from Allianz, and that's one of the um, travel insurance that insurance companies that's out there, right? And then hey, who knows if you have people. Hey, great day, Shonda. What's good? What's good? But if you like have people that I just lost my whole train of thought. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about, like if there's other insurances that, like State Farm, Allstate, if they actually have travel protection. I'm not sure about that, um, but I do know that, you know, if you are booking with a agent or anything like that, or if you have one, if you don't have one, ask them about child protection. I believe that should be something that's probably asked. And if you decline it, it goes in that you declined it. So that way, so it should be, if you say you didn't know, but if it doesn't, if a agent doesn't bring it up to you, just mention it. Say, hey, I mean, is my travel covered? Is there any kind of protection that I can get? I mean, yes, it may cost you something. I mean, I believe, when I've done my travel, it wasn't really even that much. I mean, so I'm just gonna say, don't skim on, if you're taking uh, a vacation and it's an expensive one, don't skim on your vacation. Don't skim on it because, like I said, something could possibly happen, and I don't speak that into the atmosphere, but it can. So yes, I know I sound like I'm like really, really, really stressing this, but like I said, we're in these holiday seasons. The weather is getting bad in some areas, and people are traveling. And so you definitely want to make sure you have some type of child protection. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm drilling it, but don't leave home without it. Don't leave home without it. That's all I'm saying. Um, like saying, because what life is unpredictable. You can get sick, and it don't stop anything. Your health insurance is limited, right? You might forget your medication. Hopefully not. Uh, you might lose your luggage. Somebody might steal it. Yeah, your plans just simply just crumble. So you don't want a credit voucher. You want your money back to replace those items because you paid for them, right? And who knows, you may have to change your plans, right? And one thing, just looking here, your credit card may not cover you, right? Because like some travelers opt out of travel, like I was saying, thinking their credit card coverage would suffice in a crunch. The truth is, even if you have a free coverage benefit, it won't be as extensive as a separate travel insurance plan. So I say get it. Uh, so also, let's see. So when we talk about like family emergencies and things like that, you know who this falls under family for coverage reasons. You're talking about your spouse. That means your husband, wife, domestic, or a civil union partner. Yeah, I never heard that word, civil union partner. Uh, uh, cohabitants. Wow, cohabitants. A person at least 18 years old. You have, let's say you have lived with at for at least 12 consecutive months. You must be able to show evidence of this, and you currently live with your children, biological step, warded, in-law, foster, and adopted, or in progress. This is who it covers. When you talk about family, your parents, biological step, in-laws, legal guardians, employed, live-in caregivers, grandparents, grandchildren, traveling companions, siblings, biological step, in-laws, warded, nieces and nephews, aunts and uncles, service animals. Oh, wow, ain't that something? Saying cute little animals, as defined by the Americans with Disability Act. So meaning that it has to be a service animal. It can't be your pet family pet, that kind of pet, that kind of family pet. It has to be a service animal. All right. So I'm gonna get off here. I really hope that I brought some value to you when we talk about um when we are talking about um travel insurance. Um you don't want to leave home without it. That's all I'm saying. You don't want to be, away from home, far, far, far away with this. And now, like I said, I'm getting ready to get off from here. But if you are going to be traveling or are you needing someone to assist you in your travel, you can always DM me or you can just comment travel in this live. I mean, of course, I would say DM me, or you can go to my travel page, Divine Legacy Travel, or divinelegacytravel.com, and you can actually book a call with me, or you can actually schedule um I always say a consultation with me so we can see how we can make your travels much more enjoyable and safer, right? So but anyway, like I said, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you all stopping by, and if you are going to be watching this on the replay, let me know. And like I said, don't travel without no protection. Anyway, y'all have a divine day. Talk to you soon.